Welcome back to the Steam Powered Classroom's vlog series on book reviews. Today we're going to talk about William Shakespeare, since Shakespeare's birthday happens to be in April. And it's April when I'm making this. We're going to start today so that you can have these great resources for your kids and I introduce them to Shakespeare with Shakespeare's Seasons, because it's also National Poetry Month. And this is by Miriam, Weiner. And Shakespeare's Seasons is a really nicely illustrated book. And each page is a quote, is an excerpt from one of Shakespeare's plays. And the illustrations are so nice too. So if you want to add this to your poetry selections for the month, this would be a really great choice to kind of blend poetry and then move into a discussion about Shakespeare. So that was Shakespeare's Seasons. I have a lot to share with you today, so I'm going to go pretty quickly. Next, I'm going to go through some books about William Shakespeare himself. Some nice choices if you want your kids to learn more about the man and the times that he lived in. This one is called Who Was William Shakespeare? And this one's by Celeste, Mannis. We really like the Who Was series. My daughter particularly is a huge fan because they're very digestible books, and it's a really great way to get into some biographies. They're not very difficult, yet they give more information than you would get out of, say, a picture book biography. So these are really popular at our public library as well. Other books, this one is called William Shakespeare, His Life and Times, and I love this one. Let's see, who's it by? Doesn't say on the front, but I like these because they're very much takeoff of like the Dragonology series that are really popular with kids, and that you open up the book and it's got all these great interactive fold-out things and envelopes, and here's the Globe Theater. Some Lift the Flap. So it's a very interactive book. It feels like something that you could just sit and explore for hours. I would love that choice to add to a Shakespeare study. And then we have a couple of other books. This one's called The Bard of Avon, The Story of William Shakespeare by Diane, Stanley. And this one is probably a little bit, well, probably around the same lines as the Who Was William Shakespeare as far as the level of content. Some nice illustrations and just information about his life and his plays. That's what that one looks like. And again, I like to have a wide variety of biographies available for my kids when we're studying a new unit, so that if one book doesn't really appeal to them, then they can move on to something else that may have that appeal. This one is a little bit denser. This one, Shakespeare, His Work and His World by Michael Rosen. And again, it's a nice combination of text and illustrations. Got the Globe Theater there with some diagrams. And then this one also goes into some summaries of his work. So it's his life and his work. So this one's for a slightly older crowd than the other ones. And then lastly on that little series, or that set, Shakespeare for Kids, His Life and Times, 21 Activities by Colleen, Aagesen. And this whole 21 Activities is it's a pretty extensive series as well to help you study and explore different people in different historical times. And 21 Activities, that series, sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't, but I always can get something out of it. So I might not enjoy the entire book and all of its ideas in there, but I can usually pull out one or two things that are going to be a nice hands-on activity for our kids while they're studying this this period or this person. So it works through the history of the person, talks about talks about them and their lives. And then, like one of the examples in here I was looking at earlier, you can make a goblet, you can make a quill pen, some things like that. So some nice ideas to combine arts and crafts, hands-on activities with Shakespeare. And then I'm going to give you two series of books that present his work in child-friendly language. This one is my favorite. These are by Bruce Coville, and I'm just going to show you this one. This first one's Twelfth Night, and this one's illustrated by Tim Ragland. They do have different illustrators, but Bruce Coville retells all the stories. And it's kind of a longer picture book format of Shakespeare's plays, and it helps. I mean, the illustrations are adorable, and it helps to bring you into the story, and it uses language that's a little bit more child-friendly. So Twelfth Night, we've got Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Winter's Tale, and Hamlet, and Midsummer Night's Dream. So This is the series that I would go to if I was going to introduce Shakespeare to my kids. I would start with that, and then we would go into some more complex language of Shakespeare. It's a great introduction. And here's another series. This one's called Shakespeare Can Be Fun for Kids, and this is by Lois Burdett. And this series is a little bit older. She taught Shakespeare to elementary kids for a really long time and took Shakespeare and rewrote it in rhyming couplets. So it's very, and then they're illustrated by her students over the years. So, 9-year-old, 7-year-old kids illustrating the books and giving some little summaries, some plot summaries there. But so she wrote it all in couplets, rhyming couplets that make it really fun to read out loud and present or to perform that way. That's super child friendly. And I didn't bring this up here today, but there's also several graphic novel renditions of Shakespeare's plays that I would highly recommend. And you can look at those. You can ask for those at your library or just, Google Shakespeare graphic novel and see what comes up. Their graphic novels are a really popular way to introduce some of these classic pieces, and I hope you'll check them out. And enjoy Shakespeare's birthday, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.